Happy New Year. It's 2022 and let's get into this new year. So I saw this really interesting video on YouTube Shorts / TikTok, and it's about splicing, RNA splicing, and making babies, and the world is changing so fast. So let's check this out.
Your own bone marrow and fertilize your own egg and have a kid with yourself.
This has been turning my mind into a goddamn pretzel. The idea is if you could take somebody's stem cells, turn that into a sperm, and then use that to fertilize an egg, then maybe you could have a lesbian couple that could have a baby together with their commingled DNA. But if you can do that, could you do it to yourself? And if you could, that baby would be what exactly? Would it be a clone? No, actually it wouldn't. I've done some math. It would be way worse than that. Seems like it would be a clone, right? Because it's the only genetic material would be the parent's material. But the way gametes work is they swap a bunch of DNA before they get made into gametes that have like half of the amount of genetic information of all the rest of your cells in your body. So in this thought experiment, the child would have only DNA from their parent, but they wouldn't have all of the DNA from their parent. They'd have 25% fewer total genes. 50% of the genes would be the same copy on each chromosome.
But before we get into that, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. It really pushes this video out in the algorithm and encourages me to make more videos. This video is brought to you by Brand Video Pro. We help brands and influencers scale their influence and sales. So if that is of interest to you, head on over to our website, click the link down below and find out how we can help you. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me. You can take one of our courses, etc. Just click the link down below, find out how we can help you. All right, let's begin. Okay, first of all, is there any truth to that? Because I did hear about CRISPR a long time ago being able to allow two women procreate, and the fact that you could take bone marrow and turn that into sperm. Hold on. Turning bone marrow. Oh, this is real. Oh my goodness. 2007. What? Do you know what I think it's so funny? This idea that like two women could have kids. The manosphere on social media are going to be really pissed. Because forget about just like even lesbian couples, just in general, like people that just want, like I know like people that just like want to have a kid, and like women that want to have a kid, their eggs are old. They're not able to have kids anymore. Technically, they could still have a kid if they turn their bone marrow into sperm and get a donor egg. They could have a kid. This is crazy. This means that women could technically have children. Well, the procedure would cost a lot of money. But let me read about this article about turning babies from bone marrow. This is a real thing. Microbiologist Kenim of the Northeast England Stem Cell Institute just took a step forward, rendering men obsolete. Wait, but this is a 2007 article. Why hasn't this been publicized? And why don't we know about it? This just shows us that men really run the world. Men really control the world, because this is not the type of thing that men would want to approve and let go further. But anyway, let me keep reading. By immersing stem cells harvested from men's bone marrow in a cocktail of chemicals that mimic the environment of testes, Nernia and his team turned the stem cells into immature sperm. This is 2007. The experiment marks the first time that any non-reproductive human tissue has been transformed into gametes. If the cells can be grown into mature sperm, the technique would allow men without functioning sperm or even testes to father children. Wow. This is 2007. Hold on. I know this article. Okay, let me finish the article, then I'll do a little bit more research. Nernia says the technique could enable women to have a biological child with two mothers and no father. Their offspring would always be daughters. Oh, what? Though, because sperm made from a female cell would always carry an X instead of a Y chromosome. Weirder still, a woman could conceivably use sperm made from her bone marrow to, oh my God, inseminate her own eggs. But like they said in the previous video, that would actually mess up the kids. Nia's work has already raised a few ethics eyebrows, and some scientists doubt that Nia's engineering sperm could ever be functional enough to inseminate an egg successfully. Renee Regiopera, a biologist at Stanford Institute for Stem Cell Biology and Regenerative Medicine, points out that earlier attempts to create offspring with sperm from embryonic stem cells resulted in short-lived mouse pups. Oh my God. That were either giants or midgets. Nernia says it's possible that transplanting his immune system cells into human testes could make them functional. Wow. But he's awaiting permission for the experiment from his institute's ethic board. Wow. I'm sorry, this is like groundbreaking. This is 2007. This is 2007. So you know that like there's been advancements. And I heard about CRISPR creating this technology. This June 14, 2007. I heard about CRISPR making this technology available. But anyway, there's another article that says, how close are we to making babies from bone marrow? This is 2020. A popular Discover story from 2007 raised the possibility of using stem cells to produce human sperm. Where does this science of reproduction stand? In 2007, a group of researchers reported a startling discovery. They had created sperm-like cells out of stem cells taken from bone marrow of human men. 2 years later, however, the study was retracted due to charges of plagiarism. Wow, you see, people will just come for you. Men don't like this. 13 years later, the ability to create functional human sperm out of stem cells remains elusive. Scientists have been trying to figure out how to create functioning human gametes, eggs, and sperm from stem cells for 20 or 30 years, says Vittorio Sebastiano, a stem cell biologist at Stanford University whose research focuses on reproductive biology. Doing so would help people struggling with infertility have children and help scientists unlock the secret of human development. Since 2007, scientists have made considerable progress on this front, creating healthy mouse pups from stem cell generation gametes and given immature human egg cells. But there's still a long road ahead before scientists will be able to convert skin or bone marrow into babies. This is why you have to verify everything that you see on social media. So like, you know, you got to verify everything, right? This is Discover magazine. They seem like a more legit source than some random person on Instagram talking hypothetically. But let's keep going. We are trying to really find ways to effectively, robustly generate germ cells that can be in the short term used to understand the biology of these concepts, but in the long term, used to be able to restore fertility, says Sebastiano. When the first baby conceived via IVF was born in 1978, it was a major step forward for reproductive science and the precursor to the stem cell research conducted by Sebastiano and others today, he says. But IVF is not an option for every individual or couple trying to have a biological child, including those who are born without gametes or who receive aggressive cancer treatment at a young age. This science technique would offer these individuals a new shot at reproduction. The next major step came in the 2000s with the creation of induction pluripotent stem cells, iPSCs. These cells are taken from blood or skin cells and reprogrammed to behave like embryonic cells, which have the ability to develop into any type of cell in the body. Whoa, this is even like more interesting than reproduction. Since then, researchers have been trying to figure out how to turn these embryonic-like cells into functional sperm and eggs. Part of what has made this work so challenging is that scientists haven't been able to fully grasp what happened in a human embryo during normal development, says Sebastiano. Scientists understand this process in mice because The rodents are easy to study in a lab, but ethical restrictions and technical factors like having access to embryos at just the right point in time make the phenomenon hard to study in people, he says. Despite the roadblocks, scientists have made significant progress in the past 10 years. In 2012, a group of researchers in Japan created fertility mice eggs from iPSCs and use those eggs to breed healthy mouse pups. In the mouse, the whole cycle has already been completed, says Sebastiano. Now it has been shown by a couple of groups in the UK and in Japan that you can generate embryonic-like cells from mice, and then you can actually push these cells to become eggs or sperms, fully functional. In 2018, the same group of Japanese scientists made another major breakthrough using human blood cells and a pluripotent stem cell technique. They managed to produce immature human eggs. Similar efforts to create the sperm are not as far along, says Sebastiano. Several efforts over the years have purported to create sperm-like cells, including the 2007 blood marrow study. A much heralded study published in 2014 also made major news, but Sebastiano says that the development of the cells in the study didn't go far beyond the earliest stages of differentiation. But we are actively working on it, says Sebastiano. Probably in the next few years, we will be able to generate fully functional sperm and fully functional oocytes. Then the question will be, how do scientists test the quality of these gametes, he says. The only way to fully assess the quality of the functionality of the sperm or eggs is to use it to, well, try to fertilize another gamete and produce a baby. That's why this work has been approached with an utmost care, says Sebastiano. He hypothesizes that once scientists have developed this technique and they think produce mature healthy oocytes and sperm, the next step will be testing this technique in primates. That way, researchers can follow the entire life of individual animals produced from this technique to see if any unexpected problems develop, he says. Sebastiano has no doubt that one day these stem cells could help individuals struggling with infertility to produce healthy children. This, along with a fascination with biological development, is what drives Sebastiano's work. There is also, of course, scientific ethical consideration that has to be carefully considered. This technique has the potential to affect human life on a generational level, he notes, and many people also raise concerns about other future consequences, like the ability to create designer babies or produce offspring from hairs stolen from unexpected celebrities. Oh my God. Bioethics experts have written about the need to start working through a medical and legal issues around techniques now before it is viable. This is so interesting. Designer babies. So this idea that like you could actually like create any cell in the body out of what, like, I can't remember what they said, but I'll insert it again. But the fact that you can create any cell in the body, so technically you could just take someone's hair and then turn that into a baby. If somebody dies, you can create a baby out of them. Can you do it with like dead people? That'd be interesting. Or even like when a body has decayed, can they do that with like a dinosaur egg? Like I know they found a dinosaur egg in China somewhere. It's probably like too late to do that. But either way, or dinosaur bones. Science is really cool. But either way, I hope that clears stuff up. The science is just not there yet. You cannot create sperm out of, like, not yet. I mean, like, the technology is there. You technically could, but like they said, they've made a premature sort of like sperm out of it, but it's not there yet to actually create a baby with two women, right? It's not there. The technology isn't there yet. Or create sperm out of somebody's bone marrow. So, but we're getting closer. And like they said, the difficulty is getting actual human people to stay in the labs for them to lab test them for all their life. No one's going to do that. That's like unethical. So it'll be difficult for them to be able to even do that. And that's why it's been difficult for them to find out the information over these years. But either way, interesting concept. The idea that we're getting closer and closer to this. I know CRISPR, I don't know if this has anything to do with CRISPR, but CRISPR also mentioned being able to create, or having two women be able to procreate. We're far away from the technology. The idea that two women procreating only means that they'll have children, female children, could actually suggest that there might, if this technology is developed, there might be more females in the world moving forward in the future. But that's neither here nor there. So interesting, because technically from what they're saying also is that if you can create sperm, or if you can get this thingy that creates any part of the body or any cell in the body, could you create eggs? That would be the next level. That's probably more complicated. So many things to think about, so many interesting things. Technology is a beautiful thing and it's changing the world, and let's see where it goes. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. Peace. 2022. It's going to be a big year for everyone.